the Dominican Republic for long periods of time. So I could say I lived in Haiti, I could say I lived in the Dominican Republic, I lived in Mexico. Also, I could say I lived in Brazil. I stayed there for long stints of time. Belize, I've been going to Belize forever. Over 11 or 12 years. I say 11, no 12 to 13 years I've been going to Belize. And if anybody don't know where Belize at, that's right under Mexico, right next to Guatemala. I was about to say Guadalajara, right next to Guatemala. Yeah, you learn a lot when you travel and you're able to sit in these different countries for long periods of time. Even in the States, man, even if you can't go abroad, I think it's better for you to go to another country because you just soak up a whole different culture, a whole different lifestyle, a whole different everything. But even if you can't go abroad, I mean, I lived in LA. Obviously, I grew up in Philly. I'm from Philly. I lived in Miami, Florida for a long period of time. I lived in West Palm Beach, which is right up the road on 95, I-95 north from Miami. I lived in West Palm Beach, Florida. San Diego, California. I lived there too. I'm well traveled, guys. I'm well traveled. I've been to many countries, many cities. I would say if you have an opportunity, man, take the time out and go visit and travel. Also, man, I lived in Alaska, man. I mean, I'm just coming back to work up here, but I worked up here for 4 years, and when I was working up for 4 years, I stayed 4 months, 5 months, and then the rest, with family. But I lived in Alaska too, man. Kodiak, Alaska, Dover, Alaska. Especially them two for sure. I lived, I worked in Knack, but I stayed there I had a contract for a month and a half, and it's a very big difference from traveling and living in a country for a certain amount of time. And I know people today asking me well, phillydom, how long do I have to live? How long have I been in a country to live there? I would say
same lane. Put my life at risk, stretched thin in the game. You mad at my flight logs, mad at my grind. You ain't got a passport, but you judging mine. I'm an open book, my life on display. phillydom got more stamps than you stuck in the same place. Yeah, I was in the middle of Haiti where the hustle's real. You ain't brave enough to even touch that steel. El Salvador, I was out there ahead of the curve. Repping for the streets, now they gotta observe. Ain't nothing to prove. phillydom is a movement, chasing real goals while you stuck on that foolishness. From Philly's main streets, yeah, that's where I came. Kind-hearted, but cross me, I'll ignite the flame. But YouTube's a beast, gotta fight for a name. Put my life at risk, stretched thin in the game. Sacrifices made while you just talk and complain. I'm grinding daily while you stay stuck in the same lane. Put my life at risk, stretched thin in the game. You mad at my flight logs, mad at my grind. You ain't got a passport, but you judging mine. I'm an open book, my life on display. phillydom got more stamps.
What's up, guys? How you doing today? You rocking out with the one and only phillydom, coming to you live and direct from Kodiak, Alaska, man. I'm on my way to the library, check out some things and catch up on some things. Just got some sleep. All is well, all is good. Today, I want to talk to you guys about traveling. Because a lot of people travel, but not too many people live in other countries for long periods of time. Unless it's for jobs or they're a digital nomad. And it's a big difference. It's a very big difference from traveling and living in a country for a certain amount of time. And I know people today asking me phillydom, how long do I have to live? How long have I been in a country to live there? I would say if you could live in a country between 3 and 6 months, that would be a good time to be in a country you would learn a lot, and you would know what's really going on in that country. When you travel, you stay in hotels for the most part, or Airbnbs. You might be there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Some people a couple of days. Maybe some people are blessed, but we're from the States. The States, you got to get back to work. You got to get back to the hustle and grind life. So I would say you would want to be in the country for, once again, I'll say, yeah, 3 to 6 months to say you lived in the country. I don't know, people talk to me in the comment section, tell me what you think. phillydom been living in countries way before YouTube. Back in the day, man, I could say, what year was it, man? I can't remember. I'm gonna say 2000, yeah, 2011. 2011, I moved to Mexico. Around 2011, as you get older, you forget some stuff. But around 2011, I lived in Mexico. I lived in Tijuana, Mexico. And this is, like I said before, way before being a content creator, way before being a YouTuber. But I lived in Tijuana, Mexico. And I know a lot of people want to laugh on camera like, well, they ain't Mexico. Some people say that in California or something. It is Mexico. I paid bills there, house payment there, electric there, internet there, water bill there. Yeah, I was in another country. So from there, I was fascinated in living in other countries. So I would say I lived in Mexico consistently from 2011. Matter of fact, it wasn't even 2011. I said, I think 2009. 2010. 2010. I lived consistently in Mexico until 2015. So I had like 5 years living in Mexico. Obviously, I worked in the States then. I wasn't working for YouTube, so I had to go back and forth. But eventually, like after I had a job that was, occupying my time a lot, and it kept me, in the States a lot, like the first year, but I would go on the weekends and stuff like that. That was Walgreens, but after I completed my tour, it's like military. After I completed my tour with Walgreens, then I moved on to different things. I was able to sit in Mexico for long periods of time. And when I was there, I just didn't go to, I just didn't stay in Tijuana. I was in Rosarito Beach. I was in Ensenada. I would fly down to Mexico City. I would go fly down to Cancun. I would bus down to Cancun, Mexico, fly to Carmen. I would be all over Mexico. I was trying to Monterrey. I would go to Monterrey. I would go all over. I'll go all over Mexico to get that authentic feel of the country, the culture, the people, the lifestyle, the language. Even though I still need to work, my Spanish is still not good like it should be. And I've been constantly traveling in Spanish countries forever. So I would say today, I challenge you, to see if you can find time or a job. I'm just talking to you people that really want to travel and see life, man. Traveling will really change your perspective. I got to spend extensive time in Haiti for long periods of time. Also in the Dominican Republic for long periods of time. So I could say I lived in Haiti. I could say I lived in the Dominican Republic. I lived in Mexico. Also, I could say I lived in Brazil. I stayed there for long stints of time. Belize. I've been going to Belize forever. Over 11 or 12 years. I say 12 to 13 years I've been going to Belize. And if anybody don't know where Belize at, that's right under Mexico, right next to Guatemala. I was about to say Guadalajara, right next to Guatemala. Yeah, you learn a lot when you travel and you're able to sit in these different countries for long periods of time. Even in the States, man, even if you can't go abroad, I think it's better for you to go to another country because you just soak up a whole different culture, a whole different lifestyle, a whole different everything. But even if you can't go abroad, I mean, I lived in LA. Obviously, I grew up in Philly. I'm from Philly. I lived in Miami, Florida for a long period of time. I lived in West Palm Beach, which is right up the road on 95, I-95 north from Miami. I lived in West Palm Beach, Florida. San Diego, California. I lived there too. I'm well traveled, guys. I'm well traveled. I've been to many countries, many cities. I would say if you have an opportunity, man, take the time out and go visit and travel. Also, man, I lived in Alaska, man. I mean, I'm just coming back to work up here, but I worked up here for 4 years, and when I was working up for 4 years, I stayed 4 months, 5 months, and then the rest, with family. But I lived in Alaska too, man. Kodiak, Alaska, Cordova, Alaska. Especially them two for sure. I worked in Naknek, but I stayed there I had a contract for a month and a half in Naknek, Alaska. But Kodiak, I stayed here for months at a time. I'm here now for a couple months working. Cordova, Alaska, I stayed there for months at a time working. So I got a good feel. I got a good feel of the city. I mean the towns on my part. In Alaska, these towns, unless you're in Anchorage or something, you got a good feel of these towns and everything. So I'm well traveled, but traveling definitely opens up your eyes to different things that you wouldn't think about or you wouldn't come across if you was in your home city or state or even your country. So I know a lot of people, I know it's hard. I know you have kids, I know you have a wife, you got a husband. I know you got a lot of bills. You got the mansion. You got the car notes to pay for. The kids got to go to school. I understand. But if you dreamers out there that want to step out on faith and just getting tired of what they call the matrix, because we from the States, and you want to see something different, I would step out on faith, man. I would definitely step out on faith and take a chance, man. See something different, This is Alaska right here. See something different. You only live once, This is not a rehearsal. This is not practice. You don't know how long you have on this earth. You know how long you're going to live for. So, life ain't guaranteed, Death is certain, So take a chance and explore something. See something different, A lot of people waste their money on cars, nice houses. Nothing wrong with that, because if you got family, you want them to be comfortable. You want them to live, comfortable or better than you live, which I understand 100%. I understand 100%. But life is short, Life is short. See as much as you can see. Well, travel with your family, travel with your friends. I was blessed that, my parents did a lot of missionary work when I was a kid, so I was opened up to the world of traveling as a young kid, We used to go to other countries to do missionary work, so places like Jamaica and a whole bunch of other places. Like I said, I've been to a lot of countries that I have not even recorded yet because I've been there before YouTube. I'm proud of that, I traveled before YouTube. This is not my first rodeo traveling or anything. My parents, they the ones that started me with the traveling, so it gave me a lot of love. But I would say people that really, want to explore life, find ways to change your lifestyle so you're able to, live in another country for a little bit of time. It might be the blessing that you need or you look for, because it's a whole different lifestyle than the one that you're used to, So it's something different and unique, man. I can't say enough about traveling. I can't say enough about traveling and exploring. And you people with family, man, take your family if you can, Travel with family, your wife, your kids. Even if you got to start little, figure a way that you guys can travel during the summer months. But, everybody's jobs is different. I know the lifestyle in the States, and I know how our jobs are and everything, and I get it. And some people are not able to be fortunate enough to get that many days off. The Europeans, when I'm traveling, I'm in these hostels in these different places, the Europeans sometimes get 2-3 months off of work. I can't make this up, man. I wish I was lying to you guys. I can't make this up. And being in the States, United States, man, I worked for Walgreens for many years, and I was so happy when I got to my Walgreens, a drugstore chain, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about. When I got to my 5th year, I remember they gave me 3 weeks of vacation, which is not a lot. Because when you had on vacations, you want to see your family, you want to see your friends, and then you want to travel as well. Because I used to work, out of state. I was working in California. I was working in Miami. So I still had to go home to check on dad and the family and them, So it's a lot to squeeze in 3 weeks, man. I was so passionate about traveling. I'll never forget when I was working with Walgreens. I used to use my sick days, man. I can say that now, and I ain't been with them for years and years. But I would build up sick days for a couple years. I did. And I would use the sick days to travel to other countries, to fly to other cities. I flew to Canada, to check out a friend there that was, she wasn't in a movie, but she was like working with the movie, behind the scenes, like camera work and some other stuff she was doing behind the scenes for the movie. So, Canada, oh man, I used to go to Chicago. I used to go everywhere, even before I worked in LA for Walgreens. I went out there and explored Los Angeles, man. I got a passion for traveling and everything, man. So I love traveling with all my heart. I love it with all my heart. So I'm just trying to, talk to you guys and put that in your head that maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to see some things, This is just for the people. I can't force nobody, I see people sometimes going, you can't make people travel Philly, because some people might not want to do it. And then it's a big thing. People always think, how much money do I need to travel? I travel smart, I travel light. And I don't spend that much money traveling, but sometimes it do get expensive, and I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm up here in Alaska recouping and getting everything back together. But you can save up, man, and take a nice trip to places like, I know people want to go to Dubai. I know people want to go to Africa, the countries in Africa like Kenya, South Africa, Ghana. The list goes on. Yeah, so I got work in a couple hours. But I just I'm gonna keep doing these videos, keep talking to you guys, and keep communicating with you guys. And I'm just trying to motivate you, man. Also, another way for you to be able to travel, for you dreamers that want to travel, you want to find jobs that are like seasonal, like working here in Alaska and stuff like that. But I know it gets tricky when you have a family. I know it gets tricky, but different jobs like that will give you the ability the ability to travel as well. It's a tricky situation, you know, and I don't know everybody's situation and what they're going through, but find a way to step out and do something different from what you regularly do. And it's crazy, a lot of people from the States don't even have, a lot of people from the United States had to let that truck go by. A lot of people from the States, from the United States, don't even have, they don't even have passports. That blows my mind. They have cars and houses and this and that, and they don't even have passports. But like I said, this video is for people that want to travel, that want to find a way to travel and be able to sit in the country for a certain amount of time just to learn the food, the culture, the lifestyle, and just see something different. Even if you do it like one time in your life. One time in your life, you know. I'm here in Alaska. Most people will never, ever in their lifetime see Alaska. Ever in their lifetime will they see Alaska. And that's a part of the United States. People will never see Hawaii. And the reason I point out these places is because they're not in the continental United States. People will never see these places. But for you dreamers out there that want to see these places, phillydom is trying to push you and motivate you to step out of the box and do something different. How you doing today, sir? Yeah. To step out of the box and do something different. That's all. And it's taking a little while to get to this library. I went around. I went a roundabout way instead of the regular way I go, just to let you guys see some of the scenery so you can see what it looks like up in Alaska. As you can see, you'll rarely see people walking around here in Kodiak, Alaska, where I'm at. Everybody utilizes their car. So you'll rarely see anybody walking around here. But I think the town only has about, if I'm correct, 7,000 to 8,000 people. Google it, but that's what they told me. That's what the people in the town told me. But you see the houses across the street. I still got to get to somebody, a realtor, so you know how much it costs, but it's definitely 100% without a doubt expensive to live in Alaska. I can promise you that. I can promise you that for sure. But after that, I'm feeling good. The body feeling good. See, I'm walking around. I'm not breathing as heavy, but I breathe. This is how I am. People, oh, you be breathing all heavy. No, I've been like that since a kid. That's just me. That's just phillydom. But let me show you. We looking at a wall. Let you see the beautiful scenery of Alaska. The air is fresh, man. The air is so fresh. The water is fresh. You know, I still drink my Fuji, but sometime in the galley or the cafeteria, they have water there. Purified water, and that water is good, man. So this place has a lot to offer, man. I'm glad I had the opportunity. See, this is another thing, especially for you young people. Older people, you got more responsibility. Young people, you can come up here, work for a season. You might even like Alaska and want to move here. People don't even know that. I'm trying to let you see the scenery while I'm walking and talking. People don't even know California is my favorite, #1 favorite state. #2 is Alaska. Number 3 is Florida. So if I got Alaska before Florida, if I have Alaska before Florida, that should tell you something about Alaska. That should tell you something about Alaska if I put it before Florida. And the weather right now this afternoon, it rains all the time. It was sunny yesterday. As you see, let me show you the clouds. It's cloudy. So it's gonna rain soon. It's gonna definitely rain soon. But if I have, like once before, if I have Alaska before Florida, that tells you about the state and how beautiful it is and everything. Cool vibe, cool people, man. It's just a laid-back place. And like I said, I'm on an island. Kodiak, Alaska is an island. It's a fisherman's hub. The town or this island revolves around fishing. It can get a little boring at times. So I mean, because I'm living here, so I know it can get a little boring, get a little depressing at times because you know it's small. It's small. They don't even have Uber here. It's no Uber, no Lyft. The only way you get around, gotta march up this little hill right quick. The only way you get around here, if you have a car, or they have taxi services here that'll take you around the city and stuff like that. But you know that, I know that because I live here, you know. I'm here for long periods of time, so I know the ins and outs, the outs and ends of this beautiful place. Air is fresh, man. You know, they do have a summertime, you know. The weather yesterday was like 60 something. I think it's like 60 something. Right now, you see what I got on? T-shirt, long johns, that's it, book bag. Cause like I told you guys, I'm going to the library. Library is my sanctuary. I need to go check out a church while I'm here too. I ain't get to do that on Sunday. I always gotta get the Lord a thanks, you know. For me. Hey, for him helping me and making it possible for me to get this job, you know. So I always gotta give thanks, man. Let me cross the street real quick. I'll be walking into this parking lot. You guys gonna walk with me until I get to this library, the Kodiak Library. That is. I don't know what building that is right there. I think that might be a part of a high school, if I'm correct. I'm not sure, man. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I know everything is going on here. So we're gonna walk and see. And where I gotta go is down that way. You know, just trying to give you a feel, if you was here with me, what you would be seeing. Yeah, but they get a lot of cloudy days, man. They get a lot of cloudy days. So, Seattle, the state of Seattle, Washington State, and Alaska are very similar to me. Very, very, very similar. Well, yeah, a couple days ago, we had rain forever. So when you get a sunny day out here, it's like you really appreciate it. It's like a blessing. Because you can go days and days without sunlight like that. Like some kind of daycare right here, I'm thinking. I learn more and more as I stay out here and work out here. You know, like I said, I worked here before. That was years ago. I didn't realize the last time I worked in Kodiak, Alaska was 2017, 2018 is the last time I was here. So that been a while ago. They don't really have too many big buildings here or anything like that. Like I said, small town, island feel. Yeah, but it always, I mean, it's afternoon, man. I'm not making this up. I know people like in the last video like, yo, there ain't nobody out here. Yo, this is afternoon. This is it. People don't really walk the streets out here like I said. If they go around, they got cars. You rarely, oh, that wind is blowing now. You don't really walk the streets like that. I wish I was, everybody has a car. Or a bike or something, but they don't be out and about. This ain't New York City, guys. It's not Philly. It ain't Los Angeles, California. And then right in front of us, that's where Philly Dom gotta go. Step out on faith. Try finding ways to travel, and more likely than travel, see if you can sit in a country or another city for a certain amount of time. You got YouTubers that do that, but YouTubers make money, so that would be a good example. Some YouTubers make a lot of money, so they can do that. If you can, you know, travel, man. I was blessed for 6 years to stay here, stay there, do this, do that. And I wanted to make it back up to Alaska. I ain't gonna lie, to do videos here, but I didn't know I was gonna come back up as a processor. I didn't know that. I wasn't gambling on that. I was gambling I was gonna come back up and just straight do YouTube. But you know, God works in mysterious ways. I'm able to do my videos, and also I'm able to, it's Kodiak library right there. I'm able to make money in the seafood industry, so everything is a blessing. You gotta take your small blessings and your big blessings. So it all worked out like it should. I knew I'd be back up. Let's sit right there, and we going in the library right now. We'll hang out here for a couple hours. Then your boy, the one and only, Philly Dom, will get ready to go to work right after this. What else can I tell you, man? Make sure you support the merch. Philly Dom hats, jackets, shirts. Go to my store. Go to my store on Amazon. Check it out. No, go to my store, my YouTube store. Sorry about that. My books are on Amazon. If you want to check out my books are on Amazon. So that's it for now. Talk to you guys later. Hope I, motivated somebody to try something different. And I'll see you guys in the next video. And don't forget, you rocking out with the one and only Philly Dom.
Yeah. No fall in love, oh baby, I did go. Philly Dom, no they stay, I move like the flow. Yeah. Colombian sugar, Salvador fire, Brazilian beauty, still I go higher. African queens, I see you, my love. I never reach there, but I swear I show up. Sooner than later, I go land with the vibe, with camera in hand and love in my eyes. Met her in Medellin, skin like gold. She said, you the sweet boy, you too cold. I no feel like I dey chase my dream. Another country, they call another video scene. From Rio to the islands, I collect the smile, but I no go fit stay. I dey walk out for miles, I dey live for the skies. Hotel too plain, no room for love, but no be pain. No fall in love, no fall in love. African queens, are the hell you strong. Now you did on things, you they carry along. Yeah. Ghana, Nigeria, Angola, Togo. I never land yet, but my heart they fall. I they watch you from afar, you they shine like star. They come with my lens, I go show who you are. This no be playboy talk, it's deeper than vibe. I just stay honest, make me know they